Tonight, with Congress's role in the Iranian nuclear deal, if there is to be one, the White House today said Obama is willing to sign a bill unanimously passed by the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, a move hailed by committee chairman Senator Bob Corker.
I think today the United States Senate stood and said that on the behalf of the American people, at least the Foreign Relations Committee has said that, on behalf of the American people, we believe it is our role to ensure that any deal with Iran makes them accountable, is transparent, and is enforceable.
My next guest says the new bill is watered down. Joining us tonight, Congressman Mark Meadows, member of both the House Foreign Affairs and Oversight Committees. Congressman, good to have you with us. This bill, it's historic, a unanimous vote in foreign relations, asserting Congress's proper constitutional role in approving any agreement with a foreign nation. What is wrong with it?
Well, you know, Lou, we certainly want to applaud the senators that have been involved in this, and so I don't in any way want to disparage the work, certainly when you have a unanimous vote in a committee. But what happens is as we start to extend the timeline and make an agreement to agree, the framework, and without sharing anything in class that I've received in classified settings, what we have is still a lot of unanswered questions. What Iran says the framework is, what we at the State Department say it is, those don't mesh together, and so the extended time after 18 months of negotiation is troublesome. But I am glad that the voice of the American people and indeed Congress are going to get to weigh in on this.
Well, your skepticism is certainly not misplaced. You should, I think, properly be skeptical, as should all members of the legislative branch. It is important for the Senate to have a role of advise and consent over foreign treaties. This one, however, is unique. You all don't even have the beginning of an understanding of the framework for the agreement. There is nothing, as I understand it, from either side, whether Iran or whether the United States or P+5. This is a ridiculous situation in which there is no working paper for such an important agreement.
Well, Lou, that is spot on from your analysis. One of the interesting things is as we're asked to weigh in on what the framework agreement or what a potential end agreement might be, there is great ambiguity there, and you would think at this point, after 18 months, that we would have something solid to do there. And I want to emphasize that part of the distrust on the American people, not as much on Congress, but on the part of the people that I represent, the people that watch your show, really is that we've seen over and over and over negotiations that have happened with this administration. Delivering 5 Taliban terrorists for one alleged deserter. I mean, when you see a negotiation that doesn't work over and over again, how do we think that we're going to get a different resolve here?
Well, and how does one really put into context any of the decisions being taken by this president, who has said throughout that if the Congress does not move and support him, he will act unilaterally? He has done so. The role of the Congress and the Senate in the opening to Cuba, in removing Cuba from the list of state sponsors of terrorism. I mean, this is pretty heady stuff for a president who is breaking strongly and profoundly with history.
Well, he's breaking with history. It's real easy to pivot to Cuba, where the turmoil perhaps is an old turmoil that many of us may have remembered when we were in elementary school. And yet what happens is we find that, again, because of negotiations that I just mentioned, we got really nothing in exchange for that agreement. We're going to normalize relationships, and yes, human rights violations continue to happen even to this day, and yet we get nothing. And we see with this framework, there's a couple of things that were troubling. We're not saying that Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism any longer, not recognizing Israel. A number of those areas that would be concerning to me if I were in the region.
Congressman, good to have you with us as we watch what happens with the agreement born out of the P5+1. We don't know what's happening with amongst those variables. One of those in the P5 opening up the prospect of sale of sophisticated missiles to Iran, just as the deal seems to be in the offing. Congressman Mark Meadows, always good to talk with you. Thanks for being here.
It's great to be with you. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.